What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today's video, we are going to be talking about Marauders number 12 by Jerry Duggan and Matteo Lolli. And in this video, we are going to learn that certain new aspects about Pryde are not going away, regardless of how much you might not like them. And more importantly, Kate has a new mission, and she's not going to go in guns blazing. She is going to be killing them softly. That's right, we're going to talk about all this and more right now. But first, wash your damn hands and let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Before we get started, if you want to see more awesome comic book videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click.
Pretty much everything we have right here, everything picks up pretty much exactly from Marauders number 11, where we saw Pryde resurrected. There's a lot of fanfare in this issue. There's a lot of pageantry going on in this issue. Basically, everyone welcoming back Pryde. Logan specifically, calling out that Kate has finally popped her resurrection cherry. Storm and Kate having a beautiful moment, which I actually recently did a little digging into. It's actually going to come up in a video a little later here. We're not going to talk about it right here, but basically how Storm did in House of X, where she asked, is more of a proof that person is who they say they are, that this person is back, that their memories are intact. Storm asked the newly resurrected a question, something that only that person would know, or at least something that would stick out. And one of the things that Pryde brings up is how she threatened to abandon someone who looked to her as a daughter, someone who she herself looked up to as a mother, over Storm's punk rock look, which was something that really triggered Kate back in her Kitty Pryde days. Another thing that we have to keep in mind too is that Kate's memories weren't backed up at the point of her death, because they didn't know she was even dead to begin with. So it's Emma who actually puts it back in her head via the memory she got from Lockheed, what actually happened to Kate. And now that she knows, she's now ready to do what has to be done. She has an entirely new plan in place. Emma already had been cooking up something to handle Sebastian Shaw, though we're never told what that is, and we're not even really told what Kate's new plan is either. But whatever it is, Emma Frost is 1,000,000% behind it. Now, one of the first parts of this plan is the grandiose return, showing up at the Green Lagoon in ways that only Korean rapper CL could likely do.
Disco pop pop pop. Hello, bitches.
But getting back to it, this is all kind of goes back to some of the reunions. This is also part of the plan. She's reunited with Nightcrawler, who gives her back her Star of David, something that was almost burned with her body. And of course, we know Kate is Jewish. So yes, it was something that was very important, not only to Nightcrawler to give back to her because of his own personal religious beliefs, but something that he felt she would want to have back, considering, she always wore it. She even is reunited with Ilyana. Magic is probably, it's arguable to say that she probably has the biggest reaction of anybody in regards of people, gushing over the return of Pryde. But the person who is the least happiest to see her, but is putting on his best face, is Sebastian Shaw. And he even shows up with a gift, because he's also been distilling whiskey using Tempo's help, a random black mutant that no one ever talks about except for in the pages of this book now. And he gives her this whiskey as a gift, and Kate could have just as easily gone and said, sure, let's air all this business out. Put your hair up and square up. Let's go. But she doesn't. She decides instead to kill him softly. She embraces Sebastian Shaw, but she whispers with a face that he can't see, but if anyone else could see it, they'd know she ain't happy with him. And Kate is going back to her devil-may-care attitude that she, has, not necessarily recently adopted, but has definitely been on display in the pages of Marauder. She goes back and she gets her new knuckle tats, which basically say kill Shaw, exactly what we saw on the cover of this issue. Originally it was hold fast, which I actually was a huge fan of that because I thought it was very indicative of Kate's new mentality, and really something that has kind of always been a part of her character. But kill Shaw works for me just the same. She goes and pays off a tattoo artist to hook herself up with some new tats, even steals a kiss while she's at it, and then goes on her merry little way. Likely to steal a boat? I don't know, but because I don't think the Marauder is anywhere near where she is at. But whatever is going on, she has a plan, and I can't wait to see what it is. Now, the part I have questions about is Sebastian Shaw gonna line up an assassination squad that she has to run through one by one, checklist straight down the line? Are they all gonna be themed after snakes? Are they gonna be themed after, I don't know, lizards? Or are they gonna be themed after, I don't know, bugs or spiders? I don't know. I'm joking. I don't think that's actually going to be the case. The thing is, we now know, Kate is back. She has a plan. She's not resting on her laurels. I know a lot of people, because when we think of death in comics, it's usually not so much the death of a character, it's the death of a concept. And in this case, this was actually the death of a character, but at the same time, not the death of a concept. A lot of people thought that, oh, well, when she dies, she's going to go back to being the Kitty Pryde that I've always known. No, she has progressed. She is nuanced. She's not taking that status quo step back that comics often like to do when a character dies. No, she is going to keep moving forward. She is staying as Captain Kate Pryde, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think it's a great progression for the character, and I know a lot of people probably won't like that. And you know what? Hey, things change. You'll get over it in time, I'm sure. Or if you don't, that's a whole other story. Speaking of getting over things, we learned that Jumbo Carnation has sent a letter in to Emma Frost and basically let us know why Jumbo hasn't been around as much lately. Basically because saying that they wanted to get back out into the world and get back into the realm of fashion, get back into the swing of things, letting us know how they explained away their absence when they died, simply saying that they faked their death until they felt the world was ready to have them back, that the fashion world was doing something that could bring them back in. For a minute, I kind of had to sit back and think, dude, why are we spending time talking about Jumbo Carnation? What's really going on here? But I actually like the fact that in this issue, which is going to be a juxtaposition with X-Force, is that we're talking about Jumbo getting over something. Jumbo Carnation getting over their death. This kind of goes back to the night that Jumbo Carnation was attacked and ultimately died. This was technically a hate crime. It's something that's kind of plagued them ever since they were resurrected. And even though, they're getting back into fashion, they're getting back to the things that make them happy, they're also letting you know that, I'm dealing with the grief of what happened to me when I died, the circumstances surrounding my death, and I'm not 100% over it, but I'm not far away from it. And I think that's really good because I feel like this is something that people need to see, people need to read, people need to hear this, because that's one of the things we keep talking about that keeps coming up, and oh my God, I'm so sick and tired. Every time I see a comment about it, oh my God, they can't die, there's no consequences. These people who keep talking about that, it's like, no, you keep thinking of death as some sort of thing that, oh, they could just die and come back anytime they want, there's no consequences anymore. No, that's not the case. There are consequences. They remember. And the thing is, what you do now is when you are presented with the answer to death, death no longer is a problem, but the circumstances surrounding it still remain so. I guarantee you, if you yourself could actually be resurrected in the real world, let's say that, you were the victim of a hate crime. Let's say you were the victim of rape. Let's say you were the victim of some kind of a terrorist attack or something like that. Yeah, sure, you may have been resurrected. You may be alive and well right now, but if you are able to remember your own death, that's something that's always going to stick with you, and it's going to haunt you. And that's something that we see throughout the passage of Dawn of X that I think people just aren't looking at. And it's like, I keep pointing at it, but people just don't want to see it. They're too busy not being able to see the forest for all the trees. But anyways, there is a little bit earlier in the book where we know that Bishop actually did tell Beast about what was going on, that he thinks there are some bad actors on Krakoa. And this actually factors in directly to what we're going to be talking about in X-Force number 12. It's not so much a tie-in to what was going on here in Marauders, even the stuff that's happened in the past, even though technically it is more of a setup for what you're about to read in the next book. But anyways, let me know what you thought about Marauders number 12 by Jerry Duggan and Matteo Lolli. Wash your damn hands and sound off in the comments.
So hey, you made it to the end of the video. Awesome for you. If you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I don't see how you didn't, do me a favor. Hulk smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. And tap that bell so you know when I post up. Also, feel free to go check out my Patreon, where if you chuck in a buck, you can get early access to most of my videos up to a week early. And if you have time, make sure you swing by nerd901.com, where you can find more of my content as well as other amazing stuff. Anyways, until next time, I love you 3000 plus ultra!